I'm Lily Thompson, 28 now. 16 years ago, a fall from the roof shattered not only my bones but also the illusion of my so-called perfect family. I was in the hospital, surrounded by the sterile smell and the beeping of monitors, while my parents were more concerned with maintaining a false narrative than my well-being. Our family lived in a wealthy neighborhood in New York. My father, Mr. Henry Thompson, was a powerful real estate mogul whose name was often in business magazines. His success was measured by the number of high-rise buildings he'd erected and the deals he'd closed. My mother, Mrs. Olivia Thompson, was a well-known social butterfly. She hosted glamorous parties at our mansion, where the city's elite would gather. Our large Victorian-style house, with its grand staircase and manicured gardens, was a symbol of our family's status. I was the middle child, overshadowed by my siblings. My older sister, Ava, 2 years my senior, was the apple of my parents' eyes. She was a brilliant student, captain of the debate team, and a talented pianist. Her college applications were filled with volunteer work at prestigious charities and internships at top-tier companies. Her future was set on attending Harvard, the family's alma mater. My younger brother, Ethan, 5 years my junior, was the mischievous one. His pranks were always laughed off as boys being boys. When he accidentally broke a valuable vase at a party, my parents just shrugged it off. I, on the other hand, was ordinary. I had a solid B average at school. My involvement in the school's environmental club didn't draw any attention compared to Ava's achievements. I was of average height, with brown hair and hazel eyes that never stood out in family photos. I was constantly overlooked at family dinners, where the conversation revolved around Ava's academic success or Ethan's latest escapades. In my sophomore year of high school, I discovered photography. Mr. Green, my art teacher, lent me an old camera. Through the lens, I found a way to express myself. I took pictures of the graffiti on the old walls, the pigeons in the park, and the empty benches in the playground. These were the things that my family would never approve of, the imperfections that they tried to hide. As Ava entered her senior year, the pressure on her to get into Harvard intensified. I'd hear her pacing at night, rewriting her essays over and over again. Her piano practice sessions would last for hours as she aimed for perfection. Meanwhile, I entered a local photography contest on a whim. I submitted a series of photos titled The Invisible Me, capturing the unnoticed corners of our neighborhood. To my surprise, I won first place. For a brief moment, I was in the spotlight. My parents talked about hosting a small exhibition for my work. But Ava was not happy. "It's just a local contest. It won't get you anywhere," she said coldly. My parents quickly agreed, and the conversation shifted back to Ava's college applications. As the college application deadline approached, Ava became more and more stressed. I started to notice strange things. One day, I saw her hiding a small bottle of pills in her drawer. When I confronted her, she snapped at me, "Mind your own business." 2 weeks later, I was carrying a stack of books up to my room when Ava pushed me down the stairs. I landed hard on the floor, my ankle twisted. She quickly said I'd tripped, and my parents believed her. I was too afraid to speak up. Things got worse. One morning, I found my photography portfolio, which I'd been working on for my college applications, completely destroyed. Water had been poured on the prints, and my memory card was missing. I knew it was Ava, but when I confronted her, she just laughed and said, "Who cares about your stupid pictures?" I was desperate. I confided in my friend, Maya, the daughter of immigrants who owned a local diner. She was warm-hearted and always spoke her mind. She told me, "Maybe she's jealous of you. Your photography is a threat to her perfect image." I didn't want to believe it at first, but as time passed, I started to see the truth. One day, Ava and I were on the roof of our house. She was pacing, clearly on edge. I tried to talk to her, to form an alliance against our parents' unfair expectations.
But she saw me as a threat.
"You're ruining everything," she said, and then she pushed me off the roof. I woke up in the hospital, in excruciating pain. My parents were there, but their words were about the story they'd concocted. Lily was taking pictures on the roof and was being careless, they told the police. I wanted to scream the truth, but I was too weak and conditioned to keep silent. During my recovery, I noticed that the doctors were acting strangely around my parents. It seemed like there was a conspiracy to cover up the real cause of my injuries. My parents controlled every aspect of my life, from my pain medication to my visitors. They even redecorated my room, removing all my photography posters and replacing them with business-related books, pushing me towards a career in business like my father. But then a new doctor, Dr. Rodriguez, joined my case. She was unfamiliar with my father's influence. When she examined my X-rays, her expression changed. She noticed that the injuries were inconsistent with a simple fall. She insisted on discussing the results privately with me. My parents were furious. They tried to convince her that it was just an accident, that I had a history of being clumsy. But Dr. Rodriguez was firm. She said the medical evidence pointed to a push. I finally found the courage to tell her the truth about Ava's jealousy, the destroyed portfolio, and the push from the roof. The investigation began. Ava was called back from Harvard, where she'd already been accepted early. My parents tried to cover it up, hiring expensive lawyers to frame it as a misunderstanding. They offered me a deal: recant my accusations, accept the accident story, and they'd fund my education at a business school. But I'd had enough. I chose truth over family loyalty. I want justice, I said firmly. 6 months later, my life changed completely. Ava was put on probation and was required to undergo psychological treatment. Harvard rescinded her admission. My parents' reputations were tarnished. Their attempts to maintain a perfect image had led to a public scandal. I moved in with Maya's family. Their small apartment above the diner was filled with warmth and love. I rebuilt my photography portfolio, and, with the help of some advocacy groups, I got a scholarship to the Rhode Island School of Design. My relationship with Ethan improved. He was initially confused, but eventually understood the truth. He started to see the flaws in our family's so-called perfection. I also joined a support group for survivors of family violence. Listening to other stories helped me heal. I used my photography to expose the hidden truths in families, to show that behind the perfect facades, there could be a lot of pain. Looking back, I realized that my family's obsession with appearance was their downfall. They were so afraid of looking bad that they created a web of lies that eventually destroyed them. And for me, the journey to healing is ongoing, but I'm stronger now, armed with the truth. Have you ever had to choose between truth and a false sense of family unity? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. If you believe that truth is worth fighting for, please like and subscribe.